I think everybody there was moved to tears, and I thought as I came out, I thought, I just wish there was something I could do to help.
Okay, sit down and get ready, because what just happened inside the royal family is unbelievable. You know that cheeky little Prince Louis? Yes, the one who always steals the spotlight with his adorable antics. Well, he just dropped a bombshell right in front of Queen Camilla. And honey, the whole palace practically froze. I mean, mouths were open, eyes were wide, and Camilla, she was shook. So here's the tea. Prince Louis, sweet, mischievous, innocent little Louis, just straight up asked Camilla why she's queen when his grandma Diana isn't. Gasp, right? You can almost hear the collective gasp echo through Buckingham Palace. I mean, this is the question adults have whispered about behind closed doors for years, and this little 7-year-old just blurted it out loud at a formal event like it was no big deal. And guess what? Camilla was speechless, totally caught off guard. You could hear a pin drop. Even the most seasoned palace staff didn't know where to look. Her smile vanished. Her face pale. Her expression priceless. Some people laughed awkwardly. Others looked like they were about to faint. Kate, oh, she handled it like a pro. Quietly took Louis by the hand and gently led him away. But the tension, oh, it lingered like royal perfume. Let's rewind a little though, because Louis's question didn't come out of nowhere. People have been whispering that little Louis is basically a reincarnation of Diana. Yes, the people's princess lives on through him. From the moment he was born in 2018, people felt that spark, that warmth, that mischievous glimmer Diana had, and you better believe the public noticed. It's not just about his name, though let's not forget his middle names are Arthur Charles, deeply rooted in royal tradition. But beyond the titles and the nameplates, there's this energy Louis brings, that something special Diana had. Like during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, Louis totally stole the show with his animated expressions and wild gestures. He just sound familiar? Yep, Diana used to light up royal engagements the same way. Honestly, Louis has this unfiltered magic. He says what he thinks. He giggles during ceremonies. He teases his siblings, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, and doesn't care who's watching. And now it seems he's inherited another one of Diana's gifts, the courage to say what everyone else is thinking. And this brings us back to the question, that 8-word zinger that shattered the silence at a royal event. Picture it. The event is grand, royal chatter fills the air, everyone sipping champagne and smiling politely, and then bam! Louis, in his tiny little voice, asks Queen Camilla, why are you queen if Grandma Diana's not? Oh honey, Camilla's soul left the building. Inside said her entire demeanor shifted instantly. The warmth evaporated, her eyes cold, her expression tense. It wasn't even an attack, it was just an honest question, but wow, did it pack a punch. Because it didn't come from the press. It didn't come from a tell-all interview, it came from inside, from the family. And Camilla, she excused herself. Quietly, no fuss, no drama. Just walked out with her closest aides and asked one chilling question. Where did he hear that? She wasn't mad. No, she was rattled. Not because of the words themselves, but what they meant. You see, Camilla has spent years trying to reshape her image. From the other woman to queen consort, her journey has been, well, royal PR gymnastics. She's smiled, she's waved, she's stayed out of controversy. But that one innocent question from a child, it cut through all the polish and pretty press releases like a knife. Even King Charles, he tried to laugh it off when he heard about it, said something like, he's just a boy. But you know that stung deep because Charles has spent decades trying to rehabilitate Camilla's public image to get people to move on from Diana's memory. And then this happens? A question that reopens everything? Let me tell you, behind those palace doors, it was chaos. The press office went into full-on crisis mode, emergency meetings, whispered phone calls, PR spin brainstorming. Do they ignore it? Do they downplay it? Do they pretend it never happened? Eventually, they issued a soft little statement to a few select reporters. Prince Louis is a young boy. He asked a private question out of curiosity, and that was it. Calm, controlled, but useless. Because the internet? Oh, it exploded. Hashtags like Justice for Diana and Team Louis trended for days. TikTok was flooded with videos reenacting the moment. Twitter was on fire. People were torn. Some said, yes, Louis speak that truth. Others felt bad for Camilla. And of course, some were like, where did he even get that idea from? Great question, right? Let's not forget Louis is growing up in a house where Diana's memory is alive and well. Photos of her are displayed with love. Stories are shared. Bedtime talks about the granny you never met who was beautiful and brave and kind. William, he talks about his mother. Kate, she teaches her kids about her. This isn't just a name on a history book. To Louis, this is family. So when he saw Camilla in the spotlight as queen, but not Diana, well, that didn't sit right with his tiny, honest heart. He just said what was swirling around in his curious little mind. And everyone from Camilla to the palace staff to the public felt it. But here's where it gets even more layered. Sources say Camilla didn't blame Louis at all. No, what really hit her was the implication that even after all these years, even after marrying Charles, even after becoming queen, she was still in Diana's shadow, not because of scandals, not because of the press, but because a child in her own family saw her that way. That's the kind of wound you can't fix with jewels or titles, and it didn't stop with Camilla. Insiders say she started avoiding being alone with Louis, not out of anger, but because she simply didn't know what to say. What do you say to a child who unknowingly reignites all the guilt and history you've tried so hard to bury? William and Kate? Oh, they didn't scold Louis. They didn't correct him. In fact, some people think their silence meant something. William's always been civil with Camilla, but never warm. Kate? She's fiercely protective of Diana's legacy. And if you look at the way they handled the situation, calmly, quietly, maybe they felt like Louis was just saying something they all understood deep down. And guess what? That moment didn't just stir gossip, it rattled the entire royal foundation. Because it showed that no matter how polished things appear, the past is never truly gone. Not in a palace lined with portraits, not in a family still grieving the absence of a woman who once captured the world's heart. So now that the question's been asked, the royal walls are practically trembling and the world is reeling from Prince Louis's innocent bombshell. But behind all the whispers, you know who else felt the blow? King Charles himself. Oh yes, don't let the calm face fool you. King Charles was absolutely shaken. And not because Leon meant to hurt anyone. No. It was the truth behind the question that rocked him. That deep, haunting truth. Diana never really left. Not in the public's heart, not in their family, and certainly not in the minds of her grandchildren. Let's rewind the royal clock. Remember, Camilla wasn't always supposed to be queen. When she and Charles got married in 2005, the deal was that she'd be princess consort, not queen. That was the compromise. The public was still grieving Diana, and Camilla's image was, let's just say, complicated. People saw her as the other woman, the reason Diana suffered, the scandal and pearls and tweets. It took years of charity work, perfectly timed photo ops, and keeping her head down to even begin shifting public opinion. Then suddenly, boom, Queen Elizabeth, bless her soul, says in 2022 that she wants Camilla to be queen consort when Charles takes the throne. That's when the PR wheels went into overdrive, and just when they thought the narrative was finally smooth. Oh, Louis' tiny voice cuts through it all with one bold, innocent question. And Charles? He might have chuckled in public, but those close to him said he seemed tired, like the weight of old memories had suddenly come rushing back. William and Kate said nothing, no corrections, no follow-up, no PR interview to clarify Louis' words. And in royal land, silence is loud. That silence, it said more than 1,000 words ever could. Some insiders believe it was intentional, a quiet nod, a subtle act of support, a recognition that Louis's question was valid, whether it made people uncomfortable or not. And Camilla, she stayed quiet too. After the event, she requested privacy. No more public engagements, no follow-ups, no interviews, just silence. People close to her say she wasn't angry, but deeply rattled. This wasn't a headline she could ignore. This was personal. She's been through a lot over the years, from being hated to being tolerated to finally being accepted. But this moment, this cracked the illusion. It reminded her and everyone else that Diana's shadow still stretches far and wide. And Charles? Oh, Charles. He tried to play it cool. Let's move forward, he said, but those who saw him said his tone was flat, his face distant, like he knew the past doesn't stay buried forever. And let's talk about the public reaction. It was divided, obviously. On one side, millions praised Louis. They called him brave, honest, a symbol of a new kind of royalty, one that doesn't hide behind outdated tradition. Others were more critical. He's just a child, they said. Why would he say that unless someone put it in his head? Some even accused William and Kate of subtly influencing him. But isn't that the point? That even children feel the weight of what's been left unsaid for too long? Media outlets went into a frenzy. Every tabloid, talk show, and Twitter thread was dissecting the moment like it was the new royal reckoning. And Camilla, once again, found herself in the crosshairs, not because of what she did, but because of who she isn't. Because in the end, as much as the crown sparkles, as much as titles change hands, people still remember Diana. They still miss her. They still wonder what could have been. And now, the next generation is asking those questions too. So after that jaw-dropping question rocked the royal foundations, we all had one lingering thought in our minds. Who exactly is Prince Louis becoming? And more importantly, how much of Princess Diana lives on in him? Let's be real. Louis isn't your average royal kid. He's not just the cute one waving from the balcony. Oh no, he's the spark, the mischief, the heartbeat, the one who speaks before the palace can script the moment. And that's exactly why people are starting to whisper he might be the most Diana-like of them all. And Louis, oh sweet, bold Louis, gave them that just by being himself, just by asking a question that cracked open years of royal polish and showed us a glimpse of royal emotion. Even palace insiders can't stop talking about it. One aide reportedly said, "It was the most emotional moment since Harry's Oprah interview. Except this time, it didn't come from a prince with a Netflix deal. It came from a child in a school blazer standing beside his mom. The silence from William and Kate, that wasn't avoidance. That was deliberate. That was strength. That was letting the moment breathe, letting it mean something." Because sometimes silence isn't dismissal. Sometimes silence says we hear him too, and let's not forget the public. They didn't just applaud Louis, they connected with him. Because Diana's memory still stings. Her story still haunts. And to hear a child speak her name with love, with curiosity, with that unfiltered sense of justice, it was like the world let out a collective sigh of, finally, someone said it. And that someone was 7 years old. But here's the twist. Louis didn't mean to cause a stir. He wasn't trying to start a movement or send shockwaves through the monarchy. He was just trying to understand. His world is filled with love, with stories, with the warmth of a grandmother he's never met, but feels every day. In his eyes, love should be honored. Kindness should be remembered. And Granny Diana, she was both. He wasn't thinking about succession lines or scandals. He wasn't playing politics. He was just a boy, seeing a picture of a queen and wondering, why not her? And that's the power of his question. It wasn't crafted. It wasn't filtered. It was just truth, served with the honesty only a child could give. And in doing so, Louis didn't just rattle a queen. He reminded a kingdom. He reminded them that legacy isn't written in scrolls or sealed with crowns. It's written in hearts, in memories, in the quiet, powerful moments when love refuses to be forgotten. So now, as Louis grows, what will his role become? Will he follow in Diana's footsteps with humanitarian work? Will he bring that same warmth, that same emotional spark to royal life? No one knows, but one thing is clear. He's not just a footnote in royal history. He's part of a new chapter, one where emotion isn't weakness, where truth isn't rebellion, where love, real love, is stronger than titles. And Diana, she's still here. Through Louis, through his siblings, through every whispered story, every curious question, every soft moment between crown and child. He might be young, he might be playful, but don't underestimate him, because Louis showed us something unforgettable. Even the smallest voice can speak the biggest truth. What do you think? Did Prince Louis shake the monarchy in the most unexpected way? Was his question a moment of truth the royals needed to hear? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Royal Deep Dive. Because sometimes it's not the grand speeches that change the world. It's the quiet voice of a child who dares to ask, "Why not, Grandma Diana?"